Welcome back to Rarely Series Reading! We are doing book 17, Gallant Engine, another of my personal favorites. So let's get to it. Special funnel. Peterson's funnel has never been the same. Peterson's funnel has never been quite the same since his accident with the slate trucks. Now as he popped up and down the line, the wind tugged at it, trying to blow it away. My funnel feels wobbly, he complained. I was the thing controller early up my new one. He says it'll be something special. You and your special funnel, said the other engine and laughed. They were all fond of Peterson. He talked so much about his special funnel that it became quite a joke. The winter weather worried Mr. Hugh. Wind broke branches on trees, while rain turned hillside streams into torrents, which threatened to wash the line away. Mr. Hugh and the men patrolled the line every day with Rusty. They removed branches and cleared cullets so that the water could flow away. But one morning they found bad trouble. A fresh torrent had broken out, and Mr. Hugh had to stop all trains. There's been a washout near the tunnel, he said. Track bed's been swept away. The men worked hard and repaired the damage in a week. While they worked, the weather changed and became frosty and very cold. We finished just in time for market day, and Peterson took the morning train very carefully over the mended piece of line. The tunnel was short but curved, so they could not see right through it. Suddenly the driver shouted, "There's something hanging from the roof!" He braked. There was a clanging crash. When Peterson and his coach stopped in the open air, he no longer had his funnel. The guard found the funnel on a thick icicle. "That's what hit you, Peterson," he said. And he started again. But the passengers grumbled at the smoke. So when the firemen saw an old drain pipe, they stopped and wired it on. The engines laughed and laughed when Peter Sam came home. Randall made up a rhyme. Peter Sam said again and again, "His new funnel will put us to shame." He went into the tunnel and lost his cell phone. Now his new funnel's a drain. They teased Peter Sam dreadfully. His new funnel wife arrived quite soon. "Oh dear," he said, "someone squashed it." The thing controller. It's a Diesel, the most up-to-date. Funnel there is. Listen, when you puff, you draw air for your fire to make it burn brightly. With your funnel, puffing is hard work, and use the straight you need for pulling trains. Your new funnel has special pipes which help the air come easily. Puffing will be easier, so you have more strength for your trains. "Yes, sir," said Sam doubtfully. At first, Peter Sam's special funnel was a great joke. Randall and Duncan asked him why he had sat on it, then hooted with laughter. But when Peter Sam started work, it was a very different story. Even the handle was impressed. "I can't understand," he said. Peter Sam ceased to work hard. He just says, "Tee-shee, tee-shee, tee-shee, tee-shee," and simply strolls away with any train he's given. He makes it look so easy. They don't laugh at Peter Sam's funnel now. They wish they had one like it. "Steamroller!" Sandal kept slipping between the rails, so they gave him new wheels for broad tires. The other engines teased him. "Look at his steamroller wheels," they laughed. "You shut up," Sandal snorted. "My wheels are special, like Peter Sam's funnel. Now I'll go faster than any of you." You never, the engines were surprised. Saying those trains were usually late. Scarlet winked. With your grand new wheels, he said gratefully. You're just the engine and chuckled George. Who's George? Sandal asked. While Sandal was in the shed waiting for his new wheels, workmen had come to line the road, which ran for a mile or two beside the railway. They pulled down the wall, and now nothing protected the line. George was their steamroller. He chauffeured to and fro, making real remarks when the inches passed. Railways are no good, he would say. Pull them up, turn them into roads. Scarlett had hoped and heard that talk before, and he warned the others to take no notice. But he hoped that when the two boastful engines met, he and the others would have some fun. Don't worry anymore, said Sandal importantly when they told him about George. Even to me, I'll still send him packing. The next morning, George was waiting near the hall by the level crossing. Huh? He said. Yours are handle, I suppose. And you, I suppose, are George. Yes, I've heard of you. And I've heard of you. You're cycling around with steamroll reels, pretending you're as good as me. Actually, says Handle sweetly, I'm better. Goodbye. He puffed away. George Shepherd's fuming. One afternoon, Handle had to bring special lowdown after the last train had gone. When he reached the road, he saw George trundling home. Beep, beep, beep. George took no notice. He trundled along close to the track. There was barely room to pass. Beep, 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 beep. Handle slowed here crossly alongside. Get out of my way, you crazy road hog! He hissed. They don't move for imitation steamrollers. And George was spirit. They rumbled along side by side, exchanging insults. No one could ever explain what happened next. George's driver said he signaled for his Handle to stop. Handle's driver said that he signaled to George. There was a crash. The big van twittered sideways, and the car scrambled out to find George's front rower nuzzling his foot forward. The two drivers were hardly arguing whose fault it was. A policeman strode up just in time to argument turning to fisticuffs. And when Handle's fireman came back with Rusty and Misty Hugh, they all set to work clearing up the mess. Neither engine had been going fast enough to cause much such damage. Josie Handle was able to rein his train on when George had backed himself away. Next day, the workmen put a fence between road and railway and went away, taking George with them. This was because they had finished their work. But Handle thought he had made George go away. He was more conceited than ever and talked everlasting about steamrollers. Oh dear, whispered Scarlet one evening. It's worse than ever. I'm sorry my plan was no good. Never mind, said Rusty. We'll take up something else. But no need for that, for some boys came and asked me to see if they could look at the engines. Almost at once, one called out, Look, here's the Handle. He raced a steamroller last week. The roller needed me in too. It was most exciting. And I'll never mention steamrollers now. Passengers at Polish. Nancy is the guard's daughter. She was working on Scarlet with some polish in her eye. Look how Roosevelt, she said severely. You're breastfeeding, aren't you, machine? No, said Scarlet sleepily. You're dressed in old fuss spot. Go away. She tickled his nose. Renee's comes home tomorrow. Don't you want to look nice? Scarlet woke suddenly. What? Tomorrow? Yes, Daddy told me. I'm going now. Nancy, stop. Do I really look nice? Please polish me again. Now who's in a fuss pot? Laughed Nancy. She gave him another rub, then climbed down. Aren't you going to polish me? Asked Duncan. Sorry, not today. I'm helping them refreshingly this afternoon. We must get the ices and things ready for the passengers on Scarlet's 2 o'clock train. Never mind, Duncan. I'll give you a good polish tomorrow. But Duncan did mind. It isn't fair, he complained. Peterson gets a special funnel. Shane gets special wheels. Passengers get ices and they're polished. This, of course, wasn't true. But Duncan liked having a grievances. He began to sulk. That afternoon, when the message came from the station, by the waterfall, one of Scarlet's coaches has come off the rails. Please send some workmen to put it right. Duncan wasn't steam, so he had to go. All this extra work, he grumbled. Hey, where is an engine note? Rubbish, said his driver. Come on. A derailed coach was in the middle of his train, so Scarlet had gone on to the top station with the front coaches. Douglas left the workmen and brought the passengers in the rear coaches home. He sulked all the way. He arrived back just in time for his own 4 o'clock train. I get no rest! I get no rest! He complained. He was sulky and short of steam, so his driver waited a few minutes in hope of raising more, but Duncan wouldn't even try. We can't keep the passengers waiting any longer, his driver said at last. You always think about the passengers, muttered Duncan crossly, and never about me. I never even polished. I'm overworked and I won't stand it. He grumbled away, blowing over his runs. Duncan made heavy weather the journey. But at last they reached the viaduct. This was long, high and narrow, and one can walk on it. And the train is there. Come on, Duncan, said the driver. One more effort. I burp. Then you'll have a rest and drink in the station. Keep your old station, said Duncan really. I'm staying here. He did too. He stopped his train right on the viaduct, and nothing his driver fireman could do would make him up and gather in the yard. Uh-oh. Scarlet came from the top station to hold Duncan and his train to the platform. The passengers were very cross. They burst out of the train and told the drivers, the firemen, and the guard what a bad railway was. Scarlet had to pull the train to the top station, too. Duncan wouldn't even try. The train controller was waiting at the shed for Duncan that evening. He spoke to him severely. But Duncan still stayed stuckily. He said, he muttered to himself, no passengers, no polish. No polish, no passengers in a obtained sort of voice. Gallant old engine! I'm ashamed of you, Duncan, said Scarlet. You should think about your passengers. Passengers are just nuisances. They're always complaining. Scarlet was shocked. That's no way to talk, he said. Our passengers are cold and water. No passengers means no trains. No trains means no railway. They'll be in the scrap heap, my engine. And don't you forget it. Thank goodness Renee's is coming home. Perhaps it'll teach you sense before it's too late. What has Renee to do with it? Renee saved our rarely, says Carloe. Please tell us about it, begged Peter. The year before you came, said the engine. Things were very bad. We were on our last wheels. Missy, he was driving fireman while the thing controller was guard. He did everything else too and helped Mr. Human that's in the shed. We expect 2 fresh engines next year, they told us, but we must keep the trains going. We must keep the trains going now. If we don't, the railway will close. Well, also, said Peter sympathy. I tried hard. I couldn't do much, but it raised something. So my turn now, he said. You have done more than your share of hard work. He was often short of steam, but he always tried to struggle to a station. And rest there. That, said Scully earnestly, is the most important with passengers. Pah, plain Duncan. Passengers, Scully continued, don't mind stopping at stations. They can get out and walk about. That's what stations are for. But they get very cross if we stop at the wrong places like viaducts. Then they say we're bad really and never come back. I remember Renee stopping in the wrong place once, said Scully. He couldn't help it, but he made up for it afterwards. That afternoon, he had damp rails in the full train. There was passengers even at Beatrice, the guardsman. His whip slipped dreadfully on the steep bit after the first station, but they gripped at last. The worst is over, he thought. That way. Come along, saying to Nicholas, come. Ow! I got cramped, he groaned. He stopped, unable to move, on a lonely twilight line. The thing controller and Mr. Hugh examined him carefully. The passengers waited and waited. The passengers watched and waited, and they decided them anxiously. They looked cross. At last the thing controller stood up. You have the algae on one side that's jammed, he said. We have fastened the rods and tied them up. Nowadays, he went on, we need to reach the next station. Can you pull us there on one cylinder? I'll try, sir, but the next station isn't the right station. Will the passengers be cross? No worry, smiled the thing controller. They know we can't reach the top station today. The thing controller ascended the rails. Hunters on Beatrice pushed behind. Mr. Hugh gently eased out the regulator. The train jerked and began to move. I'll do it! I'll do it! Everyone cheered, but Bernice heard nothing. The thing controller's lying on me. If I fail, the railway will close. It mustn't! It mustn't! I'll get there first! Everything blurred. He was too tired to move in the yard, but he did. And another, until I got there at last, he sighed with relief. It's proud of you, I am, indeed, said Mr. Hugh. Reneus remembered that the train down was having to go on, going on. At the big station, the passengers thanked him. We expected a long walk, they said, but you brought us home. We'll come again and bring our friends. You're a gallant little engine, said the thing controller. When you're rested, we'll mend you, ready for tomorrow. Was Reneus always ready for tomorrow? Always, Charles Carloe. Whatever happened, Reneus always pulled his train. It was Duncan who brought the silence. Thank you for telling us. Arg! Reneus said, I was wrong. Passengers are important after all. All the little engines were at the wharf on the day Reneus came up. Some of the Fat Control's engines were there too. Everett pushed Reneus' truck to the siding, and Scarlet pulled it neatly to his own rails. This was the signal for chorus of whistles from engines large and small. You never heard such a noise in your life. The owner, Renee's, and other fun people made speeches. The band played and everyone was very happy. Renee's was the happiest of all. It was on place that night next to his friend Scaloy. There's help. Hello, lunch in the field, he said. At last he has really come home. That is Gal No Legend. Goodbye.